Hello everyone and welcome back to the Power BI series. My name is Jose Almeida and in this video I'm going to show you how to calculate columns. So if you remember in previous videos we have been using the sales dataset. If you don't, please go back and check this out. This time we are going to use the product cost data. The data is stored in the .txt file format. There is no problem as Power BI can handle it quite easy. So the first thing we need to do is to select get data. Select the txt CSV file extension, browse the file location, we click OK. But before load it, let's first preview the data in the query editor. This data set contains info about the cost of each product sold in the different shops during the 4 months, so from September to December. Um, okay, it looks good, so let's load it to the data model. So let's click close and apply. The table was loaded without any error, what is a good sign. But let's give a look on it. Let's first create a new tab and call it costs. Now I'm going to drag to the canvas shop product total cost and quantities and salespersons as well. Well, we have the total cost for each product sold plus the quantities, but we don't have available the unit cost. And we want to know it as the unit cost analysis is something that was required to be presented. So the solution here is to calculate it. Next, I'm going to show you two easy ways how you can do it using a calculated column. Note, there are other options such as create a measure to achieve the same results. But for now, let's learn how to create calculated columns. You know that on Excel, you would simply insert a new column in your table and populate a formula. On Power BI, the concept is pretty much the same, although the method is going to be different as we can do, luckily, any direct change on the data set. So the first option is going to be to create a calculated column directly on the data model. So you should go to the modeling ribbon and you will select the new column. You will see a default column will be add to our custom by product table. So you give a name to this column on the formula bar, and we'll call this one our unit price. Then we start to type, and the IntelliSense function will start to show you the options available. In this case, we are looking for the cost by products table, specifically the total cost. Now we want to divide it by the cost by product quantities. See, so now we press enter, and you will see the unit price column. It's in the cost by product table. So if you drag this field to our canvas, we'll see the unit price now is displayed for each one of the attributes that we have selected in our table. Attention to the aggregation of the units. By default, it is summing the unit price based in the select fields in the table, and this is not what we pretend to see here. So to change it, you can change it by opening the options for the value and select Don't Summarize. This situation has to do with the data granularity, but we'll see that in more detail in future videos. For now, you can see the row level detail going to the data tab, and you'll see that we have a one entry for each of the rows in our table. All right, the first option to create a calculated column is quite straightforward. So let's go now to see one other method. So we should go to the Power Query editor. The Power Query editor has the primary source of transformation, has a large number of options to create columns. For that reason, there is an exclusive Add Column ribbon. Here we will find many useful options to create new columns if necessary. We are going to select the custom column. Now we are giving the name to our column. So we'll call this unit underscore price just to differentiate for the previous one. Then we'll just drag the field that we want to calculate, in this case the total cost, down divided by quantities. We press OK, and the new column is showing up in the table. We just need to make sure we change this for decimal number format. We click close and apply, and we see now we have another column in the cost by product date. So we'll bring this to the canvas just to compare with the other one, and you can see it's exactly the same. You can check it in the data tab, and you'll see the new column is side by side. So it's exactly the same calculations. So now, for example, if you want to delete one of the columns, just right click over and you can delete it. And make sure, yes, and that's it. Now we have an error, and this error is quite common. And the reason is because we delete the column that was previously used in one of our visualizations. So the only thing you need to do is like, because that doesn't exist anymore, is to remove it from the, the visualization you are using. Okay, and you can see now it doesn't show up anymore, so we completely delete it. We want, if I delete as well the one that was created in the Power Query Editor, it'll have the same error again. So you remove from the table. And now it's not anymore in our data table. But if you go to the Query Editor, what you can see, it's like now you have a step that was added to your queries that was remove the column. So if you want to put these back, we just need to remove this step. So this will bring back our calculated column, and that's a good it's a good advantage in relation to the first option to create calculated columns, because if for some reason, so for by mistake you delete a column, you can bring that back. All right, so now you know the two easiest ways how to create calculated columns. But you need to be aware that calculated columns have impact in the performance, so it's recommended to avoid it as much as possible. But in case it is extremely necessary, you should do it in the query editor instead in the data model. I really hope you have enjoyed this video and that you can use these techniques in your own models. There's tons of other things to talk about, and every month new amazing features are released. In the next video, I'm going to introduce you to measures. If you have any question about this video, please leave a comment or drop me an email. You will find my contacts below. You can also subscribe to the channel to receive the latest videos and share it with people that would like to know. Thanks for watching, keep tuned, and I hope to see you soon.